If you live in California, it is no mystery to you that the rental market is tight. And why is that? Because our housing supply is so low. I mean, there's only so much real estate in California and in the world, but in California especially, people are flocking to the Golden State for so many different reasons, especially COVID. People want to be out in the open. They don't want to be inside all the time when it's cold. And winter is upon us. Winter is coming, and it's here now. And what we have seen right now is that the rental market in Santa Barbara is especially tight. This is the Green Coast, the Golden Coast, whatever you want to call it, because we have an amazing Mediterranean weather pattern where it's pretty much sunny year round. The coldest it gets, during the day is like 60 degrees, and the hottest it gets is, I don't know, I've never seen it over 90. So that makes it so highly sought after in Santa Barbara. We have the mountains that are on the other side of Santa Barbara from the beach, and there's not a whole lot of development going on right now. And that development is what I want to talk to you about today. But before we do, my name is Alex Stober, and in this video, I want to talk to you about some local news that is impacting Santa Barbara. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications when I make more videos. So let's dive into it. What is going on right now that is just skyrocketing rental prices in Santa Barbara? Well, I mean, the home prices are also skyrocketing. We've seen in the last 2 years, we've seen 85% appreciation on these homes. The average home went up 85%. Before, in 2019, we had an average home price of $1.7 million. And now the average home price is right under $3 million in Santa Barbara. That is incredible. There are very few places in the world that have that kind of appreciation and also have that average home price. Yes, you'll see in Austin and Tennessee, and you'll see these booming markets. They have high appreciation, but in the beginning, their home prices were relatively low compared to Santa Barbara. So this is a issue that has been going on for a long time, and it was just ramped up during COVID. It was ramped up during this boom in real estate that we are all seeing right now. And who has been affected more than anyone really, other than, middle class has been affected a lot. Lower class has been pushed out of Santa Barbara. They just can't afford the rents anymore. Landlords have had a moratorium on them for evictions for a long time. That was just lifted. Who knows what's going to happen to those families who have been here for a long time. But who it also affects is UC Santa Barbara students. I'm a UC Santa Barbara alumni. That's why I came to Santa Barbara, was to be a gaucho. Ole. But what's going on is the university has had a battle with creating more housing for students. Right now, there are just over 25,000 students at UC Santa Barbara. To put that in perspective, that is about a quarter of the population of South Santa Barbara County is students at UC Santa Barbara. It's the best university that I could have ever asked to go to. It's the #1 material sciences school over MIT, and yet we cannot get housing right yet at that university. Unfortunately, it's a big part of our county, and it creates so many jobs, but we are in a crisis because UC Santa Barbara had a mandate to increase the amount of affordable housing and just housing in general for the students who were coming on campus. Fortunately, right outside of the campus, there's Isla Vista, and that is pretty much all privately owned homes, either people who have been there for a long time or investors, property owners, people looking for higher caps. There is some more risk in buying in Isla Vista, and I can absolutely talk to you about that if you are interested. But what we're looking at is UCSB has needed to create more housing for a long, long time. And there have been opportunities and proposals in order to do this. They've been developing Santa Catalina Towers. Francisco Torres was the name before. And that whole area has been under development. There's been so much money poured into it from big name investors who we will talk about today. And yet there's been a lot of pushback, a lot of pushback about housing in that area. And UCSB is stepping it up. So let's just look at a couple of articles that are discussing that at the moment. So what we're seeing is that UCSB remains in crisis, and essentially what we're looking at is UCSB proposed a mega dorm, and Goleta has essentially created a lawsuit over the school's apparent noncompliance with 2010 long-range development plan, which essentially means that UCSB needs to create more housing, and it's mandated to do so. By 2017, with enrollment already probing the limit, university had already completed apartments to house 1,500 students, and yet they were supposed to create 5,000 new bedrooms by 2025 while capping the average on-campus enrollment at 25,000 students. Well, they created 1,515 square bedrooms to house these additional students, and yet we have not seen that shortfall created. So what we're seeing is big opportunities for the university to step up and help these students. There's a huge endowment. We are looking at, across the UC system, I believe it's $500 million that we have in endowment. $300 million is prepared for 2022 to 2023 and 23 to 2024. And yeah, right here, the endowment is $585 million currently for the UC system, and the Regents allocated a total of $57 million to campuses for housing projects. And what we're seeing is that we had one opportunity, one investment from a huge name investor, Mr. Charlie Munger, the one and only. I mean, Warren Buffett's right-hand man, was the lead architect on what is called Munger Hall. And Munger Hall was, well, it's highly contested. The reason it's highly contested is because it would create the highest amount of cost per bedroom out of any UC development, any housing development that there is. It also has a huge energy demand, which would make it really difficult for the UC system to hit their carbon neutral goals as they're moving forward, especially UC Santa Barbara. I mean, it's so energy focused. And it is in Santa Barbara, where we're very environmental as well. And yet the reason that it's highly contested is because a lot of these bedrooms don't have windows, and they're really small bedrooms. I mean, they essentially are, you're putting kids in a petri dish, and essentially like they're coming to college, their first independent experience in life, and they are coming to this experience where they are pretty much stacked right up on top of each other and right next to each other, giving them the minimum viable amount of space for essentially a bed, no fresh air, and it's all mechanical ventilation within this hall, which we've seen in COVID is going to make it quite an issue for ventilation, making sure that things are filtered properly. I mean, if one of those ducts from their gas forced air or their AC goes out, then you have no ventilation and it is just muggy in something like that. So essentially, architects all over the country have battled this and said that this is ridiculous, that there is no way that this should happen. And it is a radical idea in order to increase the housing for students. We need 3,500 bedrooms. We need 3,500 beds for students at UCSB. There is a homeless population now in Isla Vista for students living in their cars. And the solution is not clear on what we can do in order to fix this. But one solution I can see is using SB 9 and SB 10, which are effective on January 1st, that allow us to create, as long as we own properties for at least 3 years, we can create a essentially a fourplex on any property that has a single family home on it that has enough space. Now, in the past, it's been really hard to get these projects done because of regulations, and there's a lot of red tape and everything going on. But this is the opportunity because there's a mandate. UC Santa Barbara has to figure this out. And either they start buying up properties and flipping them, turning them into fourplexes, or landlords start to buy up these single family homes, put in bunk beds essentially into each room so that 2 kids can live in each room in these single family homes, and then wait out the 3-year period while they're getting permits, creating architectural plans, everything, build fourplexes all over UC Santa Barbara's neighboring district of Isla Vista, which is not incorporated in Goleta because the crime rate's really high. So we kind of need to figure that out. So right now we are at a pivotal moment. We have the #1 materials sciences school in the world that needs to come up with durable materials in order to create housing for students that is going to last for generations to come. And in order to do this, we need to put our heads together with private investors. There are already projects where investors are coming in, buying up parking lots in Santa Barbara that are not used. Santa Barbara is giving them the ability to do so as long as they go and create essentially a set amount of return on investment for the property in the form of rent control. So they're parking lots that are built into 62 unit apartment complexes that are mostly focused on the middle income earners in Santa Barbara. That's the firefighters, the teachers, the police officers, all of those people who are so important to our economy, and yet they don't really have a place to be in Santa Barbara. If there's 2-bedroom houses on the market that are $5,000 a month, and that is not affordable for most families. And yet opportunities like that, where we buy up properties like parking lots, and then we set a set amount of rent on them, and we're able to increase the ability for our population to have shelter, a basic need at an affordable cost, is something that I think is revolutionary for our government, especially our local government, and our investors in the area to work together on creating new ideas to make life better for everyone. And UC Santa Barbara is definitely ground zero when it comes to our housing crisis. Because what happens to these students? These students who can't find housing in Isla Vista or on campus, they get pushed into Santa Barbara, and they will take anything. So they buy up the entire floor of the market, all of the rentals that families wouldn't take or higher income earners wouldn't take. So then there's no floor. So what happens to that floor? Well, then the rent just keeps increasing because someone will take it. Fortunately, a lot of students here at UC Santa Barbara they have parents who can help them and can pitch in for their rent, or they just go and buy the houses. Well, the houses, there's not many on the market. There's like 156 right now homes on the market in Santa Barbara, and they are going quick. It's competitive. Houses, I just sold one last week or 2 weeks ago that had 16 offers on it. It was crazy. And that kind of competition is what's driving the rental prices through the roof. And we got to come up with a solution. I don't think it's Munger Hull. I think it is cooperation with investors and the local government. And I think that there's a lot of opportunity in Isla Vista in order to build out these homes. And there's a lot of land in Santa Barbara where we can develop and allow students to have housing. Now, there's a lot of people that don't want the population of Santa Barbara to increase. And I understand that. There are a lot of high income earners coming into Santa Barbara and buying homes at a premium. And that is pushing other people out, and they're moving. We're seeing a lot of that, and yet we got to figure this out. So one piece of good news right now is that Carpinteria actually had their city council approve a new Surfliner Inn to move forward. So beautification of Carpinteria. It's a very sleepy town. It's very humble, and it's so close. Well, they actually just approved a new Surfliner Inn, which I believe is like 39 bedrooms. So 39 rooms for a local inn, and this is going to help out the local economy. I mean, the proposal essentially said that they're going to bring in over $500,000 a year in direct revenue to just to the area, and then an annual $2.7 million increase in local merchants and the economy, because more people are going to be able to stay at this hotel and help out the local economy in Carpinteria. So, I mean, this is one idea for what we could do at a higher level in order to accommodate more people and also bring up revenue and infuse more beautification into Santa Barbara and help a lot of people who are struggling right now. There's one student actually that's talked about, Mr. Zhang. He's a grad student who went abroad for 2 years, came back, and is a grad student, and he's living essentially on the street. He's living in the halls of UCSB because he literally cannot find anywhere to live. The median rent of a 2-bedroom apartment is $2,598 in 2017. Now it's $3,000, and I don't know how a grad student's going to pay for that, especially $6,000 per month is going to be rough. So we got to figure this out. If you have any ideas, what do you think we're going to do in order to fix the housing crisis in Santa Barbara? Do you think SB 9 and SB 10 are going to do it? Leave your comments in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you, interact, and engage with you about this. And if you have any questions at all, please reach out. I would love to talk to you. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to see more of these videos, and I'll talk to you soon.